Hey y'all, welcome to our first episode of the podcast. We got options. Okay. And We Got Options is basically a podcast that seeks to explore different creative positions and like jobs and career paths in the creative industry. So we're going to be talking to different people, seeing what they do on their day to day, how did they get there, because growing up in a place like Mississippi, the rural South, we're not exposed to a lot of options in the creative realm. So we just want to show y'all that you got options.
So we're super excited. Like, it was on paper. And it was a thought. It was on paper. Jazz told us about it, and now we here. So, shout out to 2022 because we're gonna make stuff pop. You know what I'm saying?
We execute.
Yes,
the word for 2022 is execution.
There you go. There you go. Well, how you doing today?
I'm doing good,
I'm
girl.
excited.
I feel good. I look good. You look good.
Good. Thanks. So you want to tell the lovely people about yourself? She is just everything in then some, y'all. So it may take a second.
Okay, so my name is Jasmine Williams. Oh, wow, y'all didn't need my whole name. But my name is Jasmine, and I am a creative producer, culture producer, and that means a lot. I do a lot of things, but ideally, I bring ideas to life. You get what I'm saying? So if someone wants to make something happen, I get the people, the places, and the money and things together to see it through. That's me. That's what I do. And so, B, tell the people about you. Who are you?
Okay. Oh, well, I'm Brittny Miller. And I am, I guess you could say, like a budding DP.
Maybe DP.
You know? Okay.
Just say DP.
Okay. Yes. Excuse me, y'all. All right. DP. And, and I've been just really trying to tell stories, film stories that, really our lives, whether that be funny, kind of sad, but definitely not that tragic. But just really showing like our perspective here in the South, specifically Mississippi, because we are funny, we fly, we talented, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much me. I've been doing this seriously, I guess, like the past 3 to 4 years to like, niggas actually getting money, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Or like knowing what budgets are and knowing what stuff like that is. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
And okay, so we are on this podcast, We Got Options, and we're telling people about what different industries and positions are. And you said DP. What is a DP? Okay.
Ooh, okay. Because, because I too did not know what that was. I just know it was something with the camera, you know. But in essence, DP actually means director of photography. And it's pretty much the person who is in charge of the look in the film, the TV show, hell, the music video, anything kind of like visually. They talk to people in lighting. They are talking with the director. That's what I heard and read, that like it's good to for projects to like choose projects or talk to the director and stuff like that to see if y'all even mesh together or you can see each other's vision or help one another. But they're pretty much taking what the director wants and sees, bringing that to life. And like I mentioned to you, like you gotta know lights. You gotta know how to articulate that. You gotta know what kind of lenses to use for certain settings. You gotta be able, like you have to be able to visually, like even seeing this place that we're in, like how to light this scenario and stuff like that. So it's a lot than just picking up a camera low key. Like you really have to, like if you were in a dark room, for example, knowing how to light it, but light it right. But like, okay, are we intentionally using this night light? How are we doing? Are we closing off the light up top? Just like stuff like that. So that's pretty much what that is.
And like recently, what is some of the projects that you've been inspired by? Like cinematically, like them looking, like what projects have you been inspired by?
I would have to say, of course, I feel like, of course, Insecure. It's beautiful. I mean, I didn't want to, but it's like, it's beautiful.
It's just a good pinpoint.
It is.
So
it is.
Get a clear idea.
The tones and the colors. I'm going to be honest. It's not, Lord, I'm trying to see. Because I consume like random stuff.
Yeah.
I would have to say, I guess I'm going to just stick with it. I'm going to just stick with Insecure.
Yeah.
I just like, I would have to say, Queen Sugar is a good one.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Personally, for me, I do love seeing. I love warm. I love warmth. I love warm tones when shooting. Specifically, black folk. I love seeing us shot with, lit up and just, not looking ashy. Yes, golden. That's what I like. But I feel like going back to Insecure, like I feel like everybody just looks. Just flawless, even in low light.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so we talked about you being a DP and like that journey, like not knowing at first what a DP was. So what has that journey been like? Figuring out like that's what you want to do.
I don't know. I would have to say this, coming from our experience that we worked together on sets. I would have to say really just seeing people in action.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just say that like really seeing just, okay, this is industry stuff. So our industry people and working these positions in these departments and just really seeing what they do. Because hell, I never saw a quote unquote DP.
Right.
I don't know if you ever just saw somebody who was just like event organizing or producing XYZ,
right.
like to see that firsthand.
Right.
So for me, it was just really just seeing them on like sets and like, okay, this is what, and like talking to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been like a thing where it's just really like seeing it. Yeah. Which like with this podcast, like being able to hear and talk to different people to really get some experience and get them to talk about like knowledge and stuff like that. Because most times we are winging it, it's like we winging it.
Yeah.
We're doing multiple positions, and it's just really cool to see these roles, I guess, like play out and stuff like that. Because like, how would you see, or how was your experience, your first experience being on a like set? A function, like you are just coming in and like you're on a set. Like, how was that for you to see these people in their positions?
My first experience, back to winging it, okay? Because the way that I even was able to have the opportunity to see like what a producer does, I didn't know. I just didn't know. I just knew I wanted to be a part of like the telling of stories and like music videos, but I didn't know what that meant. And one year, it was probably like 2018, 17. I was kind of in between Austin and Mississippi, and Big Crit was actually like doing a music video in Meridian. And so that was that long ago. That was that long ago. I had never been on a set. I didn't even know how to be behind the scenes and do the work, but I knew I wanted to be behind the scenes and do the work. So I applied. I seen somebody like post about being an extra girl. Went and applied to be an extra. Made it as an extra. Walked on set and was like, seen the first black woman I seen working. It looked like they was doing something. I'm like, you need help? Excuse me. You look like you need a little help. And it was Rhea and unique, and she was like, "You want to be a PA, baby?" I didn't even know what a PA was.
But yes,
I was like, "Yeah, I want to be a PA." And in that experience and seeing how much it takes to make things happen, how many people like we talked about, you can see one person on camera, but you flip that camera, it's 30 people, it's 35 folks behind the camera that's made that come to life. So that being my first experience, like I was like a child in like a candy store, and I've still like maintained like that childlikeness, like
that
being on set.
Almost,
because it keeps you open to learning and like meeting people and all of those things. So that was my first experience, and I was feet on the ground, eyes wide open, just running and being and doing whatever the people needed me to be.
So since you mentioned that, what is a PA?
A PA, baby. The PAs make the world go round. You know, they don't want to tell you that. But a production assistant. And within the film industry and in TV, when you come in, that's kind of where you start. You start
level 1.
You start as a PA. And the PAs are making sure that people are hydrated. You know, like you ask people if they want water. You ask people if they want gum. You know, like you're making sure that the crafty is set up, and you're basically a runner. Like you're doing whatever anybody on set needs you to do. And it's such a not necessarily humbling position, but it gives you a really wide view of what it takes to make a set happen, because you get to be in every department. You know, you kind of get to float, because the DP may need you to go run and get the camera may need you to go get a battery. You know, so
oh my gosh, Jazz.
So you're you're really the person, like you the little guy, but without you on set, it would be a shit show, okay? Like
it would, because you need help.
Because you need help.
Everybody
and so
need
the PAs are just the helpers, you know, baby. You picking up the trash, you setting up the tents, you setting up the tables, you setting up the chairs. Like, it's all of I don't know, the little big things that need to happen on set. Yeah. A production assistant is doing it.
And like even what you saying, like when you were going into what a PA is, or what they do, to be honest, I think it is kind of like a little humbling. Yeah. It's like mixed, like humbling a little bit, but it's also like eye opening to the fact, like I don't speak kind of about with us, but like, dang, we really been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see what you doing and what you doing and what you doing. We doing that in one person. Look, you know? So, exactly. But I think it was really cool though to like see that for each thing you need done, there is somebody or a team
that's doing it.
Yes, like for audio, there's somebody who fixing the lights. There's somebody who you could just be talent. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like
you could just be talent.
Y'all don't know. Sometimes we just want to show up. But I think it definitely does teach you, like you said, like it just shows you get a glimpse of what people do, and especially it's a gym when you have people who are willing to teach you and willing to be like, hey, if you whenever you free or whatever and you want to come over here and see what I'm doing, you know, come. And it's like, damn, thank you.
Thank you. Because that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And, like, also starting like that, I think, like, one of the biggest lessons in being a PA is, like, what you was just speaking to is realizing, like, how many people it takes. And, like, that really helped me in my own creative process, because I recognize that, like, damn, like, not me and my girls, it's 4-5 of us doing jobs that would require 15 people. You get what I'm saying? Like, because y'all, I say this all the time. I talk about this all the time. The biggest eye-opener for me on set was realizing that it's somebody on set to just make sure the fucking camera stay in focus. Like, there's somebody on set who literally makes sure that the camera stays in focus. They have a focus puller. They are the focus puller. And it's like, that's so important, you know, and it seems like such a small task. And like also just seeing like everything is a job, you get what I'm saying? And so when you realize, like, as an independent creative, that you've been the director, you've been the producer, you've been the focus puller, you've been the PA. Look, because I'm still a PA on whatever things we do. I tell my friends, I'm gonna pull up and be a PA. you know, like, and it's just, it's so rewarding to see, like, oh, dang, that's why I be stressed, because I'm doing 12 jobs.
And you got 15 minutes.
you got
15 minutes.
You know?
Yeah. And it is crazy that you mentioned that, but I feel like that is, honestly, I think it just goes to show that, like you said, there's something for everything. Like, we got our homegirl here. She's helping us with this. But it's like, we shouldn't.
Okay.
Try to do this.
Right.
Like, we shouldn't have to just come in here and do everything.
We should.
Because that takes a lot out of you. And that kind of goes to it, like, having a great team, finding good, cool people, and just taking it back to Mississippi. Like, and I'm going to kind of speak to, like, small town, big town, but we're, you know, the scene may not be as big sometimes, or it may be hard to find, especially if you're new coming here, or, you know, what you do is just kind of like non-traditional, which is kind of like what we do.
Right.
But like really just finding people, that community, because I don't know if I probably would have, but I have to say I don't know if I would have found some people like this anywhere else off bat. I'm gonna just say that because like I feel like with you, Jack, Lord, you, MC, Rand, and just like people who are willing to like, okay, you got a vision, all right, so how we move forward? Yeah, because I feel like we're always trying to come up with, okay, so where can we shoot this? You know. Low-key finessing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, and I feel like that is something that is within us, especially being here, like, figuring out a way out of no way, and, like, seeing that, like, yes, what we're doing, like, casting, picking the right people for these projects, like, that is
which is a job, too. That's a job. That's a job all by itself, casting director. Yeah. But I think, and we talked about, like, being in Mississippi, and what do you think, like, how do you think Mississippi impacts your work? Like, what's the most challenging thing about creating in Mississippi and the most rewarding thing about creating here?
So where do I want to go? I guess challenging, of course, I guess I'll bet will probably be maybe resources, right? Yeah. You know, okay. So that's kind of like one of the things that we feel like we all talk about. But I would honestly have to say, like really that. I think space. Yeah. I think space for me would have to be that, because the amount of no's or maybe no responses that you get for like when you're trying to like, hey, I'm trying to do such and such, or you know, just like, or I'm looking for a space to shoot in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff, it can be so like just challenging, because I was listening to this podcast, and they were pretty much mentioning like as a creator, right? Or some, you know, you want to make art or you want to be on camera, like not everybody has a home or a place that's aesthetics. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like some people, it may not look as cute or maybe have the space to do this setup. You know, some people may have just like small rooms confined, and you know, and we do what we can, but it's just nice to be able to see better. Yeah. And I feel like that is definitely a wave that we're going into, is like providing space and stuff like that. But that is a challenge for us. Yeah. One of the rewarding things is being able to see the outcome. Yeah. To just really be like, oh, we did that. Like, y'all, it was just 4 of us. And we did that. Yes. And we did that. So I think seeing the end product, because the talent is here. Yeah, we like the talent is here. It is. And I really do be feeling like God is just like really bringing folks back this way.
I think so too. Yeah. I think people are returning.
Yes.
You know, I think so too.
Because the people who we are, like, and I say this all the time, like, I just be thinking, I be like, God, I'm like, Lord, thank you for bringing XYZ here, you know, to, you know, like, we're meeting set designers, people who, fashion designers, you know, like, we need people like that for sets and stuff like that, or people who can build. Yeah. Like, you know, it's just, I see people coming. I see people coming back, and they, you know, making themselves available.
I see it too.
So what about you?
I think I would have to say that the challenge is also the reward for me. Mm-hmm. I think Mississippi, you know, like people not understanding kind of what we do, and like there being really, I don't know, like big misconceptions to get over. I think the reward is having the space to create something from nothing. Mm-hmm. And I think like it takes a level of vision to be able to be in Mississippi and to continue to create, because you literally have to do it sometimes with nothing, you know? Or sometimes it's like we depend so much on our community. Like look at the space we're in. Like this is literally brought to you through community. You get what I'm saying? Like Flamingo is a beautiful space, and like the owner has just always been so open.
What y'all need? Sure.
Yes, exactly. Like Ahmad is amazing. So it's like the rewarding part for me is being able to see that it's a blank canvas and you can literally create whatever you want here, because the lack of, you know what I'm saying, like we focus sometimes so much on the lack, but it's like in that lack you have the opportunity to create and make like whatever you don't see. So that's the biggest reward for me. It's just like, girl, we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah. I mean, because like, to be honest, the standard is where we can just set that bitch. Like, we could just say it.
That's what it is.
We
and so,
can say it.
I love it. Like I love that aspect of it. I'm like, and then also it's like this idea of what we don't have is literally to the people like exterior, because they don't recognize like what we do have, because we don't have a lot of information and media that talks about like what we do have.
Yeah.
And so it's so much that we do have versus what we don't have. And like, so being in the mix and like knowing what we have access to through people, you know what I'm saying? It's just like what makes this so much better.
It does. And I think just from what you were saying, I feel like, yeah, it's community. It's really talking to folks.
Yeah.
Getting to know folks' story.
Yeah.
And then it'll just work its way out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how, but it'll just work its way out. Just like you, because I feel like you never know who you would end up talking to.
That's so true.
And just being like, or what
That's so
space
true.
you end up at. Like,
Yeah.
people who actually want to help you and see your vision through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we just be having, all right, y'all, we got this phone. You know, we finna make like, we got a homegirl, C. She be making her projects.
Crazy
Yeah.
music videos.
But it's
and,
like with what she has around her.
yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. Like,
Yeah.
what you gonna do with what you have? And I definitely feel like that's the kind of like the time that we're in now. It's really like, it's not, I guess, really getting out of your head to be like, oh, I want this project to be done. Okay, so I've been lately just trying to be like, okay, so what are the steps we need to move forward?
Yeah.
Because at this point, we gonna make it through, but like with this podcast, what are the steps we need?
That's literally what she emailed me back, y'all. I had made like all of these ideas about what I wanted the podcast to be. Brittny said, okay, so what do we need to do moving forward? Baby.
Yes, because we wouldn't be here.
We would. We
wouldn't
look.
be here.
The things are done, you know?
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. So I want you, can you kind of tell me, because I kind of want to talk about this, our set journey. Because we will be sharing stories. We're going to keep it cute, NDAs,
You know.
NDAs was signed for some of us.
So we got to keep it on the hush.
Please. But I don't know. Well, I'm going to say this. I don't know if some people know this, but for me, I got to work my first industry project with Jazz, and it was so fun. Like, I mean, y'all, I just got to say I was blessed. Like, if you want to call it luck, whatever, I feel like I was blessed because I feel like you don't always get to work with your friends.
No,
And baby, when I tell you, it really was like like you hit the ground and you.
I'm talking 4 a.m. call times, 5 a.m. call times.
What time you rap?
What time you wrap? It may be about 9, 8, 9,
Maybe.
10, 11. You know?
Maybe.
And
then you do it again the next morning.
and you keep doing it.
Yep.
And you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with that, did we even have off days with that one?
No, I think that was straight through.
I
think because I think they came back. No, I think that has always been straight through.
Yeah, because they are only here normal for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we literally shoot, like y'all.
The way Rest really be calling our name after that, it was just like you legit would be up, like she no lie, y'all, be up, call time. We'll say even 6.
6, yep.
You may come back at 6 p.m.
Yep.
But sometimes you may not be done till like 8, 9.
Yeah. And the thing about like being a PA, and that's like being, like, me and Big, that's what we started,
Mm-hmm.
But like being a PA, you gonna get there first and you gonna leave last. That's just the nature of what the job is. But like our very first, our very first like big deal, like doc, because it's a documentary, set it was amazing. You get what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of hard work. And that's the thing about me and Brittny. we cut up, okay? Like, we still cut up. We have a good time. We do the loud laughing. We do the goofing and the giggling and all of that. You know, we do all of that. But you can run our name by anybody on that set. They gonna let you know that we have always done what we were supposed to do. And that's one of the things, like, in this industry, it's like, it's all about like your relationship building. And it's all about like being, like I always say, your likability sometimes matters more than your skills. Sometimes they do. Like, sometimes people will call you back because they like you.
Because your energy.
Because your
energy. They got to be
energy.
around you.
For 13 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours.
For X amount of days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For like X amount of days. And like with that, I think, again, I'll never forget, what is she? Victoria.
Yeah.
Our girl Victoria.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
She gonna hate that. It's Victoria.
Sorry, Victoria. But she told me my very first day, I was nervous boots. I was nervous boots. Baby, I got up there on time. I was on time, y'all. But she was just pretty much like, the top things are just be on time and have common sense.
Yep.
I can't express to y'all how being just on time is crucial.
It's crucial. It's crucial.
Yes. Like, there's a reason why, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, after the first 2-3 days, I could say honestly, 2 days, you kind of get the swing of things.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like, there will be times where me and Jazz would get up. Like, if we were working on a project together, we would get up. Jazz would be like, all right, so, like, we need to get ice this day, so we can get ice, you know, for the next day. Or, okay, we need to go get gas get gas for the van, stuff like that. Just like, really, just really being on it.
Yeah.
Just really being on it.
Yeah. And you have to, like, anticipate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make sure that you need to be doing stuff so people ain't got to ask you. You know what I'm saying? That's, like, been one of the biggest things about being on set. It's just, like, how you going to problem solve?
Yeah,
how you going to make sure people ain't got to, like, ask you where things are because you know where they should be and where they need to be. You know? And so, like, and that, I don't know, like, being and having the opportunity to be on, I don't want to say real sets, but, like, things that we aren't producing and things we aren't directing, like, having that experience has really, really spilled over into, like, our personal projects, you know? Because it's just so much. Like, it's just so much that you do that you gain the confidence to do on your own stuff. Let me tell you. Because, look, because Brittny, one thing about Brittny, baby, if we recording and there's some noise going on, she gonna go shut them up. She gonna go find who it is. And she gonna ask them, can they be quiet until we finish record? And so it's like, but she had to do that when we were on location with these other people. You know, if it's somebody mowing the grass, you gotta go catch them.
And it could be, and that's the thing. You could be in this room right now recording, but somebody probably down by the train track is doing something, and it could be government. It could probably be city official.
Yeah.
Cities, hey. So we doing, and sometimes I be zhuzhing it up. I'm like, we're doing something really big, you know. I just need you for like 15 minutes. Can you just, hell, even if I got to stop by just talking to you, because I'm just like, and like to your point, it really is just like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do for the situation? How can you solve this? Like you said, problem solve.
Yeah.
So how we gonna solve this? Yeah. Like, there was a time where we were kind of like on some grounds where it was like some official stuff going on in terms of like this was people's jobs to, like, for example, cut the grass.
Right.
And it was like, well, excuse me. So it would be like some people's jobs to, like, okay, they need to make this noise. Like, so they need to cut this grass, or they need to hammer this, or what are they talking? And it's just like, hey, so can you just not for like 15, 20 minutes? And they'll be like, so what you doing? It's just like, listen, it's a video that we trying to film. But it definitely is like she said, like, the experience you take from there, because like once you do it, like we started doing that in our personal projects.
Okay.
We started being like, hey, And I do it nicely. And you got to be nice to folks, too. You just can't be coming up to somebody's space and be like, hey, I need you to shut up. No.
Exactly.
Like, no. Because I would probably turn my stuff up louder. But yeah, just taking that confidence from sis that we've been on, it's just like, it's amazing. Like, how we treat our personal projects now.
It's different.
It's top, like, we're taking it
it's
like
different.
crafty. Sis.
Yeah, look.
Crafty.
Yeah, we got crafty. We got water. And we know, like, what it takes to, like, make something run.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about, like, the different misconceptions in what you do, like, as an independent creative, as a DP. Like, when we not, because this the thing, like, we make our living by being on set and doing work for other people. Well, we make a lot of our living, but we also...
That's a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
I say that's a good chunk of income.
But we are, like, on the come up and, like, producing and directing our own things. And so in your work outside of, like, what you're doing when you on set, like, what are some misconceptions that people have about what you do because of where we at?
Like, outside looking in, pretty much?
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be just explaining to, like, folks who are like, okay, I'm going to be gone randomly sometimes because, they let us know maybe 3-4 days before. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for about a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what you doing, or why you always so busy?
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's just like, I may not be able to text you throughout that whole day, or get back with you. But it is like one of those things where I know very much last year, like, I was on my laptop a lot, and that was just trying to edit. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm like, yeah, I'm working. Yeah, I'm in my computer. Or, for the most part, but work for me could look like I may want to sit and watch something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I may want to go to a museum, like just different stuff or all that good stuff. But when I tell somebody, like, I'm working, sometimes for me it do feel a little weird because it's like, I am just sitting, I am sitting, but I'm actually doing work. But it's like, I actually can't go with you right now or whatever because it's like, I have to buckle down time for this because my work isn't as traditional or my space isn't as traditional because it's like I kind of set my own schedule.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think it's really people just seeing like, I may be at the house or I may be at a coffee shop or whatever, and it's like, oh, you cute. It's like, oh, okay, but this is like really what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to get done and stuff like that. So I think it's just to other people, maybe the flexibility, but it's like, no, for me, I got to kind of stay on this schedule to get some stuff done. Like, it's cute, but it's a lot of
work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
What about, like, on your end? Because, like, especially if you're doing, if you're, like, creating an event or something like that. And I feel like I joked about this with Jazz, though, but it was, like, a time, I think it was a project she was doing for somebody else. And it was, like, she was just on the phone. She on the phone. She'll get on her iPad or her laptop or something and be looking up stuff or on social media. But it's like my girl was working.
Yeah.
To us, we may get it and be like, okay, bitch, whatever. But how do other people perceive that?
Like, when I'm talking to my family, like, that's one of the things, like, it's so hard for me to tell my family exactly what I do. They be like, so, I mean, it's kind of easy to explain, like, being on set. I'm just like, okay, I'm a producer and I help people bring their ideas to life. So when you see something on TV, like, that's how I have to say it.
Yeah.
But I think, like, in producing campaigns and, like, events, sometimes the misconception is that this don't take time. So
you ain't lying about that, child.
That I don't know. I think, like, people see, like, the end result of what I do. Like, they see the concert, they see the campaign, they see the platform,
they see the show,
they
baby.
see all of that,
they see it.
and they think, oh dang, I want to do something 2 weeks from now. Can I do it? Like. So that's sometimes a misconception, just people thinking that things don't take time. And I will be honest, like, I get that because I had to learn that myself. Like, being on set has made me have a more realistic approach to what things take, or, like, how much time things take. Because, baby, that's me. That used to be me, rather. Like, okay, y'all, I want to do some, and can we release it in February?
and it's like January 27th. February 10th. Not even a month. Okay.
That was me. So, you know, I
and
tried
we'll be down with it, low key.
The girls used to be like, all right, let's do it, you know. And so I get it. I try to give people grace because I had to learn it myself. But, like, yeah, that's a huge misconception that, and one, or like you said, or that research process, like when people think, oh, this isn't work, or it's not like a part of what you hired me to do.
Yeah.
It's like a campaign is more than the idea. Like a campaign is the brainstorming. It's the strategy. Like it's just so much. And so I think like sometimes people just expect it to be like the product.
Literally, yes.
And it's like, but I think that's kind of like the thing with everybody's, you know, like if you're a creative, you deal with clients who have like really unrealistic expectations and like want to give you more of a workload than what the contracts say. Like it's just so much. And so like that's a big one for me. That's a big one for me.
Well, to that, I want to say like, for example of like just some of what Jazz can do, like if I wanted to film something, right, like for a project, like one recently, I was trying to film it.
Okay.
And I tried. Well, I did. I filmed it. Had to communicate with the talent. Had to, book the makeup. Had to, just everything, and then try to direct. And
Brittny will be everything. Okay,
no,
Brittny will be it all.
I don't want a friend. But let me tell you, like, if Jazz could have like really just. Let me just say this. I've seen Jazz where she would have to find the specific talent and like securing location, all that stuff. So you as talent or whatever don't even have, you just show up. Like you would just have to show up. She would pretty much be doing like
communicating and coordinating. Like,
cause y'all I don't feel like people understand like
that's the job.
Yeah. Like you have to book flights for people.
Okay, hotels. You know,
are you there? Are you everything up? Like that's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot.
It is, and like, and that's been one of the beautiful things to see is kind of to see our capacity and what we like allow ourselves to agree to do kind of change because I think it's shrunk. It's shrunk or shrank. Anyway, it's got smaller. It got smaller because we've been able to see like, dang, I've really been doing 15 jobs. And it's just like, I remember like one of the first times I seen B doing everything because Brittny used to come to like Jackson to do some of her blogs in our studio. And, she would just be like, I'm coming down to record, blah, blah, blah. And I'd just be like, okay. And I remember one day literally being in there doing work. And my girl, black woman, not gonna ask for no help. I'm strong. I got it. Big
Cause she was working.
And she just, y'all, it was so crazy because I'm just like watching B. Okay, hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to my vlog. Okay, hold on. Get up, press pause, get the camera together, make sure it's in focus, sit back down, check the lights. It's just like, girl, do you need help?
And I literally had to just get Jazz out. So, friend, just record. Just hit record. And you just let me know how I look. Because that's a lot, y'all. It's a lot.
It is.
And to go back to what we were talking about earlier, like, to be, Lord, that's just, to, like, be on these sets that we are coming on as, for some positions as production assistants, to just really, like, seeing, like, wow, like, it's good having a great team. It's worth it. Like I feel like that's where you put your money in. You put your money in the people. Yeah. Because I also feel like if you got good people on the end, your product is going or the outcome in the environment on set is gonna be top. Yeah.
You can see when somebody that's not true because you can't tell when Brittny is doing something alone. Like when you see her work. Like, which is crazy. That's why, like, I love that you talk about being a DP because me and my friend Dom always talk about how your work literally does have a voice. Like, when I see your work, I know it's yours because it feels warm. And it's like, let's say something, you know?
Yeah.
But like, and so that's been like really cool to see, you know, just you expanding like what you know a DP to be.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about at the moment, like when was the moment you knew director of photography was an option for you? And what has that journey been like? Like when was you like, okay, I can do this full time?
Right. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of do feel like I really couldn't see myself doing anything. Yes, I could, but like outside of, for me specifically, the film industry, but with the camera.
Yeah.
Whether that be photography or whatever, but just like something with the camera. I think specifically nailing it down.
Yeah.
I would have to say, I would have to kind of go back to the first project that I worked on.
Okay.
On the set, and really seeing what they actually do, right? Because it is more, and I saw that it was more to it than just picking up a camera, right? Like, I would have to know more about lighting, which I am learning about. I have to be able to articulate that. And I think it just showed me, like, okay, I need to get in study mode. Like, I need to learn, like, I need to take, absorb what I can and practice. But going back to, like, where I knew that I was like, okay, this could be some money for me, would have to be the Know Your Power campaign that we did.
Yeah.
Again, the Mighty 4-5. In that case, I think the Mighty 6. And it was just, like, really so fun, one, to work with friends.
Yeah.
Two, it was crazy. I think that was like a low-key last-minute-ish. Like, yeah. And it was just like, again, seeing it all come together.
Yeah.
But really seeing it all come together in post. But honestly, we set a price and we got paid.
We got paid that price.
And I think that was one of the things where it was like, because I think after that, I booked, like a few months later, I booked my my second, like, 4-figure project. And I said it with my chest, too, in that email. I was like, this.
This is it.
And it was like, all right, we'll see the check will be, and I was like, oh my gosh. But it was just like, I know, and sometimes I'm not even gonna cap for y'all. Lord, I said cap. But I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I'm still even working. Not a little kid. But I think it's been just really, Lord, I be losing my train of thought, y'all. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me.
Right there.
Oh, here it is. I be doubting myself. Like, I can't do the work.
Yeah.
And I think for me has been to, like, this is why I have this price that. And once you're paid that amount, it's something like, okay, so like people do see. Other people do see. And I be having to tell myself, like, I can't do this for like $400.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It don't
like,
be no going back after you get that price.
$400 goes to sometimes paying somebody just to like help or edit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot that I feel like, again, people don't understand to get this final project. This is what it
requires.
And I'm not trying to shortchange nobody, or but hell, sometimes I will end up shortchanging myself. Sometimes
most of the time it be you.
Yep.
Most of the time it be you.
It do.
You know.
So, but that, I would have to say, like, that Know Your Power moment was a really big moment, because it was like, wow, it was really us. Like, we rented equipment, and I just think it was just really cool to see.
Yeah.
And I think that was even before we got on I think for me, on an actual set.
Really?
Because that was 2020.
Yep.
So, have not seen
that's true.
A set. Yeah. It was just us.
Yeah, that's true.
And we did it.
We did
it. What about you? Like, when did you know, Miss Thing, that you wanted to do what you wanted to do?
Girl, I think for me, it was Beyond the Cave.
Ooh.
It was Beyond the Cave.
If you don't, y'all, we're going to have to link it somewhere. But if you don't know,
it was Beyond
maybe
the
give
Cave.
It to him.
It was Beyond the Cave.
It was beyond, y'all.
That was when I knew that, okay, we got something here. Like, this is different, but it's also familiar. You get what I'm saying? And I had just moved to Jackson. I was barely here. Like I ain't had no house. Like I was living with somebody else. Like I was just really winging it. I was fresh from Austin, knew I wanted to create in Mississippi, tell Mississippi stories, but I didn't even know what that really meant, you know? And it's just something about being in the right place and showing up who you like as who you are at the right time. Because we literally met Nick Cave on a whim. And then we almost missed the opportunity overthinking like what we thought we didn't look good enough to go into this museum and see this art because we saw people in like their best attire, suits and dresses. And we walked in authentic. Like we looked like who we look like. A bunch of artists, you know, like a bunch of Negroes. In this white space. In this white space. And we showed up authentically. We saw the exhibition and we met the artist who is a world-renowned artist.
Get into it.
Baby, international. You get what I'm saying? Walked right up to this man and was like, your art is crazy. When I saw him, y'all, because I had already met him earlier that day because C was doing a show. So I had already met him, but you know, I'm like, I don't know who this gray hair.
Oh, so you didn't even know who he actually was when you met him the first time?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know him, and I wasn't familiar with his work at all.
Yeah.
And I actually like took a photo of him in the park. Like all of this stuff is happening. Yeah. And C was like, yeah, he got a show tonight. We should go. I'm just like, okay. So we go. Yeah. Again, we didn't want to go in because we thought we looked like a bunch of niggas. And so we was, you know, and it wasn't even a we. I know it was like a lot of my energy spilling over because I was like, no, I do not want to go.
We can go back home.
We go back to the crib. But M was like, nah, fuck that. We going in. And so like after we seen this work, y'all, I had never been that impacted by art in that way. And that's another thing, like when we talk about creativity not necessarily being an option in a place like Mississippi, it's also like art, period. Like you don't engage with art in a way that like you can really be impacted by it. Yeah. So we saw this exhibit and I saw this man for the second time and I literally was like I gasped like when I seen this man because I was so like it was so emotional. Like I was like, we were just gushing over this man like, oh my God, your work is crazy. We ain't never blah, blah, blah. And he literally was like, I think y'all should do a call and response to this exhibit. And in that moment, baby, what is a call and response? We don't even know what a call and response is. Okay, but I mean, I studied Black history. I mean, African American studies.
We know church.
We know what church is.
Yeah,
okay?
we know me.
Okay.
Yes, we know that.
You say it back. But it's like... But we was like, okay, we gonna do it. In that moment, agreed to it, didn't know what it was. Yeah. And even then, what I really appreciate about Nick Cave is that the language he used off rip. He went and grabbed the director, this white lady, and was like, yeah, we just hired these Black women to do a call and response at the museum. Right off rip, that's the language he used. And so, like, that experience showed me that, like, how valuable ideas are and, like, that institutions will pay you. You know, like, it was a rough journey, I will say. Like, we had to go beyond the cave figuratively, like, metaphorically, like, like, we really had to push beyond, like, our limitations and what we thought was available and our options we thought that we had. Yeah. But then, like, producing that event and like bringing in 42 artists, you know, and having all of them artists be paid, you know what I'm saying? And like it being over 300 people in this white space, 300 Black people in this white space, and like for them to feel comfortable and all of this, like that affirmed for me. That's why I have to sometimes use the language of a culture producer, because I do all this for Black folks. Like it felt so good to see everybody be impacted, from little babies to like elders. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like people shedding tears, and like I knew then, like, I want to create safe spaces for Black folk. You know, whether that be through film, whether that be through events, on TV. It don't matter. It's like, if my name on it, I want niggas to feel safe. And I want niggas to feel celebrated and, like, seen and, like, all of that. And so, Beyond the K did that for me. I was like, I can do this. Yeah. I can do this. And we can get paid for it, you know. And ever since then, child, it's been up.
Getting stuck, okay?
It's been up, honey.
Yeah, and I think even with that, like, I think it was really cool because you got to see dancers in there, poets in there, musicians in there, and
fashion designers.
Yes, okay. Performers, just rappers, and just to show like what you are doing now can really be your career.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, really don't stop. Option. Like, we all know, everybody in this room know that this shit ain't easy.
It's not.
All right? Like, there are times where we have cried. I'm sure, like, shed tears. Like, yeah, we be getting emotional if images are lost. All right?
We done had footage get lost.
Okay, like we really, to the point where it's like sometimes you work and you don't know who really listening or watching.
Yeah.
But like there are people who really are just still watching us now, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just really one of those things like keep going. Keep going, and that's what we really hope with this podcast, that you can really see yourself or imagine, and really, like, honestly, like I call Jasmine my faith friend. Faith. Because
not with the K-E.
Faith. With the T-H. Because she really has a nigga, like, really open your mind, seeing for yourself, manifesting, but believing that you can really do some shit. Because, like, sometimes I get too practical and I get too caught up in, like, I guess the now. Like, there be times where I really would be broke. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how I'm going to get this to work for this project or get this to work for me because I need this. And Jazz just be like, listen, it's like, really, you just got to change your thinking a little bit. It's like, all right. And so if you can sometimes change your thinking, and it's easier said than done, but if you practice that to know and, like, to understand that, like, yes, what I want to do, if I want to, like, for example, this is a skill. Everybody can't just set up something and make it look aesthetically, like this. There are people who could get paid to do this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think pretty much anything you see, you can get paid to do.
Anything
you got that option.
You got that option.
You got that option.
You got the option. And I think, does that conclude our episode?
I mean, we can. Yeah, I think we can.
But we can win. What you gonna say? Oh, no.
Talk about, like, the guests.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I ain't trying to close y'all out like that. So who are you excited about talking to on the podcast?
Okay. So let me just say this. Y'all probably are gonna, I don't know when. No, I'm not gonna speak on it because I'm gonna just save it because we're gonna release our pre-pilot. Because y'all got to get into that. But anyways, I would definitely have to say talking to some of the people we met offset from productions that we have been a part of.
Yeah.
For example, would probably be if Laura willing, and if they want to, I'm really praying they do. But like Royce and Rusty. I mean, they was just, good old friends. Yeah, for real. Like, those, I ain't gonna lie, never would have thought I would probably be into audio like that. Never would have thought. Well, I mean, I don't know. Just seeing them do their thing and they cool people. Yeah. I think that's the thing. Like, really getting to talk to these people who they have really cool personalities and they take their shit seriously.
They do, and they
like,
so good. Yeah. And it's just so wild how, like, being on set, how quickly people can become like family.
Yeah.
And sometimes it be people that you would, if you saw them on the street, you may not ever say two words to them, because these are two white guys. Yeah, like, we just don't have to engage a lot of times with, like, white people. I mean, that's just true. So but Royce and Rusty, like, they
I ain't gonna lie, they kind of get it.
They do.
They kind of get it.
They do.
We know they white guys. We are aware. They are aware.
They are aware.
That's the thing. They are aware. But, just like Royce will really be like, "What y'all trying to do?"
Yep.
It really is. If we just quit playing,
Yeah.
what y'all trying to do?
Yeah.
You know, like, but that goes back to, I feel like we shared this, but like, those were people who were willing to, hey, I can show you this, or if you got any questions, like, you know, how we can improve, like when we leave this set, how can we take back to our sets, our projects, how can we make that better? And we've met other people too, who, but that's just off the top. That's what she asked me. But yeah, I mean, it's just like we're so excited to just talk to these people, y'all, because it's gonna be so cool. Because like to some extent, we have interacted with everybody who we have so far. We have lined up. Yeah. So I think it's definitely gonna be fun. Who's somebody that you're excited to talk to on the pod?
You know, we got some. The crazy thing is like, in the past few years we've been working, we've come across like some dope people, y'all. Some really, like the people that are going to be a part of this pod is just like, it blows my mind sometimes. I'm not going to tell y'all who I'm really excited to talk to because I want that to be a surprise.
She still ain't told me, but okay.
Oh, I still hadn't told you. Okay, I'm going to tell her.
I may be surprised too.
No, you know what it is.
Thanks.
But they're just, I mean, all these people are big deals.
Yeah.
But I am most excited to talk to my girls, Pam and Maya. I met Pam and Maya on set of a movie, a film, All Dirt Roads, Taste of Salt, that was shot here in Jackson, Mississippi. And that's one of the great things about like being on set. Like Hollywood been coming to us. We've been blessed that way to where the people been coming to us. We hadn't had to leave Mississippi. And you know, I know a lot of people talk about like having to go to get what you need, but the blessing is that these people have been coming here and we've been able to meet people from all over the world. So Maya and Pam, like Pam is a costume designer. And so she was the costume designer. She was the head costume designer on this movie. And Maya was assistant costume design. And like, I love meeting them because I think like one of them is from Baltimore. Like one of them, I can't remember, but it's like that area. But I love like how intrigued they were about Mississippi, and not on no like misconception y'all don't wear shoes and ain't no buildings and you know all of that. It was literally like they respected the culture of what Mississippi was and like, or what Mississippi is. I'm sorry, they respected like who we are and like understood our position in like the overall like cultural scheme, you know, of pop culture, I guess. So I'm really excited to talk to them because I know Pam went to school to be a mathematician, and so like being a costume designer like just wasn't an option for her.
Like how you get from that to this?
Exactly. So I'm really excited to talk to them. I'm super excited.
It's gonna be fun, y'all. It's really gonna be fun, and I think you need what you need. But I think people need to hear stories like that too, because I do feel like there are people who are probably doing something else and just don't know, like, should I take that leap? You know, and you're gonna feel that too. But like to see that, or maybe who's to say that what you're doing now can't help you in this field? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna work itself out. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm just happy to be finally doing this with you.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So this is our pilot episode, and we can't wait for you all to see the episode 1 with our guest. So yeah, stay tuned. And
before we sign out, where can people follow you?
Thank you, friend. At The Curly Kid.
Big purr.
It's TheCurlykid on the YouTube and the gram. On the gram. Where can people follow you, ma'am?
I'm gonna put my radio voice on for this one. No, I'm just kidding.
No, do it.
Okay. So you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can follow me anywhere with this same name. It remains the same. THE is D Kim Shady. THEKIMSHADEY. Don't forget the E. Yeah, follow your girl. The people love me, you know.
Yeah, people call her Kim, but that's another story, another day.
Yeah,
people do call her Kim.
People do be calling
and it's
me
a whole
Kim.
Jasmine.
And it's so funny.
It
but
is.
keep that distance. If you don't know my real name, Jasmine, that's okay. Call me Kim.
LOL.
Not LOL. Please.
And thank y'all for watching this too, cause
Yes.
we're tapping in ourselves, so we hoping
It's gonna progress.
It is.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you. Also, want to give a shout out to the Flamingo here in Jackson for allowing us to use their awesome space. Be sure to follow them on social media, on Instagram at Flamingo JXN. That's Jackson, but Flamingo JXN. Follow them and keep up with them because they're actually gonna open back up really soon.
Yep.
And y'all, when y'all step into this place, it's a vibe. I mean, it's just like where are you at?
Every corner is a vibe.
Yeah.
And it's black owned.
Yeah,
Two black brothers doing what they need to do and providing space and making black folks feel safe.
Yeah.
So check out the Flamingo. They do a lot of awesome events. Ahmad be here mixing up the you can get you a drink, So it's really cute. It's really cute. So keep your eyes peeled if you want something cute on a Friday night. They start happy hour on Fridays. It's a vibe. If you want a real grown and sexy thing, this is the spot you need to be in.
And buy from here.
Oh yeah, and buy because they have furniture, they have clothes. Yeah. It's multifaceted. You get what I'm saying? It's a good time. So shout out to the Flamingo. Thank you so much for allowing us to use your space.
And I think, are we signing off?
We signing off.
And
don't forget,
we got options.